Peace and love, divine beings. Welcome back to the Soul Speaks podcast. On this podcast, we are letting the soul speak its mind. No more holding back, no more holding in, no more heavy hearts. My yacht wouldn't like that. This podcast is a safe spiritual space. So even though the truth gets messy, it's needed. It needs to be spilled. We are healing over here, y'all. As above, so below. Let's get into it. So, today we are talking about divine unions. We are talking about these soulmate relationships. We are talking about the battle between keeping these soulmates, these higher vibrational celestial beings together, the spiritual war between that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about divine unions and what they really mean to the spiritual community and how important they are to our future generations and how important they are to our healing, when it comes to our past lives, when it comes to our present day, when it comes to breaking generational curses. I did pull a few tarot cards, oracle cards from the Moonology deck, and both cards are in new moon. So new moon in Cancer and new moon in Libra. I am going to read those to you, but I found it interesting that there is some heart chakra business when it comes to Cancer and it comes to Libra. Libra is associated with Venus, and it's also love based, but also balancing the scales. And Cancer is about family and your connection with community and home and what really makes your heart tingle. And so I find that between this new moon in Cancer and the new moon in Libra, there's going to be some changes with divine unions. There's probably going to be a lot of partnerships happening. A lot of you who are single are going to meet your soulmates. Make sure you continue to heal, though. Continue to heal your inner child. And heal all of your chakras so that the universe can bring your soulmate to you, your divine partner to you, your divine masculine or your divine feminine to you. But between now and Cancer season, I feel like there'll be a lot of divine unions developing, but also unions that are already established. They will be expanding more spiritually, emotionally. They already have been with what's been going on with the fake twin flame energy. I was gonna say era, because these fake twin flames have really been attacking the divine unions and making sure that they're creating third-party relationships and creating confusion and chaos and tower moments between certain relationships. And I did want to point out that you need to be careful about who you're getting tarot readings from, because if they are continuing to display confusion about someone coming back, and you know that they were toxic, but they're saying, oh, they're gonna come back and it's gonna be a happy-go-lucky type of situation, you need to be careful about that, because that's just gonna keep you in a karmic loop. And we, as higher vibrational beings, are lifting ourselves from that. We are noticing the red flags, the orange flags. We are noticing how the other person or people are mirroring us in our shadow, and how we need to heal certain aspects. So just be mindful of certain tarot readers that kind of put a bug in your ear about karmics coming back and it being a happy time. Now if you have a divine partner and there was separation due to third party situations and karmics and fake twin flames, what is meant to be would be. So if you all do come back together and there is more conversation, deeper conversation, spiritual depths, and understanding and compassion and nurturing energy between one another in your journeys, in your spiritual journeys, and in your spiritual awakening, then it is meant to be. That is your divine partner. Okay, but if you know that they're karmic, if you know that it brought out negative aspects of you and your life, and you were in a loop and you felt manipulated, or you felt abused, or you felt that wasn't you, when you were around that person, like the energy that was being operated was not you, then you know that is not your divine union, that is not your divine partner, that is not someone that you should be with, around, that is someone that you should learn from and only take the good from that and digest the quote-unquote bad, and just do a lot of self-reflection. Because honestly, I've been through a fake twin flame experience, and I will talk about that because it is very interesting, that story. But that is a distraction to the divine unions, the divine masculines and the divine feminines that are supposed to be together, creating divine star seeds, celestial beings, and teaching them ancient knowledge, and teaching them holistic health, and how to expand your mind in mystical ways, in divine ways, is important. And they have been stopping the evolution of melanated beings, but also just spiritual celestial beings in general. They are stopping the relationships from forming, from building, from establishing beautiful mind expanding, mind awakening experiences, raising children that are beautiful and well-rounded and have manners and are well-rounded and spiritual and educated, but not indoctrinated, not conditioned, you know what I mean, not trained, not training to slave. And it's just interesting, like when this panorama hit and most of the parents had to be home and babysit and things like, well, quote unquote babysit, because that's what they called it, right? Because they couldn't take them to school and they couldn't take them to daycare. It's crazy how I heard a lot of the parents complain, or I see how tough it is for them to even accept their children for who they are, and heighten their powers, their gifts, teach them things. I always desire to be homeschooled just so that I can bring that love and nurturing energy to my children, and also teach them things that I would have liked to know, but also give them more free time. School wasn't really, it was fun for me, but it was fun for the experience of other children. I love to learn, but I love to learn by myself. And so I feel like with my divine seeds, my prince that is here, and with my future children, they are already individualistic when it comes to how they learn and how they do things and how they like things to be done. And so my son, he does what he does. He picks up a book and reads if he wants. He learns on his own schedule. So that's what I love about that. Even with my husband, my king, being home and him homeschooling him as well, we need both parents. We need masculine and feminine, and not karmic energies, divine energies, healing energies. These children need the balance. They don't need two feminine energies or one feminine that's in her masculine energy. And I'm not discriminatory over the LGBTQ. but I desire to keep it real. My soul is speaking right now. We need the male and female so that we can procreate. And I know that there are different scientific ways that are not really, in my opinion, of God, the highest divine God, okay? There are other gods, and not all of them are divine. So there are other ways to conceive children, yes. But we need a male and female of divine light so that the children are made of love. There were a few generations where the children were made of love. In the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, 90s even, when it came to the music. We were healing ourselves with the music, with the records. Shout out to Bobby Hemmett for teaching me about that. We were healing ourselves with the records, with the vinyl. They were creating love children. Pure love children. I created a love child. I know what it's like. And then I also see children that were not created from love. They are angry. They are karmic. Those that were not created in love, it shows. They're missing some emotional capacity. They're missing emotional intelligence. It's hard for them. And you may be someone, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but you may be, you weren't raised out of love. Your parents didn't really love each other or something. You're missing something. We just have to be honest, because we have to get away from this social media stuff. We have to get back to what our ancestors and spirit guides were doing. We have to move in a divine light. We have to move in a road less traveled. Because that road that is traveled and paved out is going to lead you down somewhere you don't want to be. A hole you can't get out of. And I have a dream channeling about that. I'll talk about that as well. I have a dream where it's about two roads. But it's literally walking by faith, not by sight. But I don't want to jumble up the message. We're talking about divine unions here. And the agendas that are placed against the divine unions. Third-party relationships. Same sex, the threesomes and the same sex relationship playing around crap. I've been through it. I didn't go through all the way, but Spirit, the Most High God, the universe, my ancestors, spirit guides, and angels were protecting me from that. You get wrapped up in your fleshly desires, but your higher self is going to kick you in. When you have to realize that is not of God. That is not divine. And yes, people who have, I'm not judging anyone. Because I didn't see anything wrong with it, but also I am in a divine union. So me desiring that of the flesh was distracting me from the fact that I am in a divine union, and there was no infidelity. Like I said, I'll go into that at a different time. However, with the agendas and I don't need a man, and some of these false prophets and these people who should not be idolized, who are spewing things about women. Oh, these women are this, these men are that. The music nowadays is not uplifting when it comes to R&B. Now there is some R&B that is focused on love and really makes your heart jump and really makes you want to cuddle with your partner if you have one. However, there is a lot of toxic R&B out here, and it'll get you caught up if you listening to it, and then it's talking about some F this N-word. It's like, dang. I desired to listen to something that was going to make me miss my partner, or, you know what I'm saying, make me feel more in love, make me have butterflies. Where is the 80s R&B? Where is the 90s R&B at? Where is the 70s music in general? Where is the love that is not being passed down to our children? What is being passed down to our children through the music is hate, violence, evilness. Oh, you don't need a man. Focus on money. Do you know that if you get in your divine partnership, the money will come to y'all? Y'all won't have to worry about anything. You won't even really have to need money. You could have a box on the street, but as long as you got your partner, you'll feel like you have $1 million a month. I'm just saying, like, we have to be mindful, you know what I mean? Like, our children are not seeing real love. And I'm not saying that LGBTQ is not real love. What I'm saying is balanced love, mommy and daddy love. There is a balanced connection seeing that. I feel, in my opinion, that when you have a mom and dad and they truly love each other, you're the child, your energies, masculine and feminine energies, are balanced, and you grow up and they're balanced. You know what I mean? You don't grow up and have mommy and daddy issues. Now you're seeking same-sex partners, or you want an older woman because it reminds you of your mom, or you want an older dude because they remind you of your dad. Like, no. And I'm not judging anyone that has a age gap relationship. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is, when it comes to children, raising them to be healthy, mind, body, and soul, and spirit, for them to upkeep their spiritual relationship, to stay divine throughout their life, they need a divine union raising them, male and female, divine masculine, divine feminine. They don't even give us positive role model, in quotes, couples to look at for inspiration. We used to be able to look at Bill Cosby as the Cosby Show, but take that out, you know, take Bill's personal life out of it. But we used to be able to look at that and be like, okay, goals, you know. They don't even show that they're showing, you know, same sex or not the same race, and not being offensive, but I'm just keeping it real. They don't want us to be with each other, especially as melanated beings. They want us spread around. They promote to the melanated beings that we need to get with a fair-skinned person because the look of that child is more acceptable, or, you know, you'll be more financially stable if you do so. And then I'm guessing to the fair-skinned community, they promote, in society, they promote that being with a melanated person and having, you know, mixed children, they would be more acceptable in the world. They would look better, but also they would have, you know, certain strengths, athletics, you know, things like that. And that's sad. That's sad. I'm gonna move on to this. Let me read these two cards. So, if you are in divine unions, I pulled the card New Moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. So, the new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign and also very emotional. Saying that, the moon is very happy in the sign of Cancer. It is one of her 2 home signs along with Taurus. So whenever you pull it, this card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It is especially positive for family matters. A new cycle is starting for you, your child or children. Meditation will help you banish insecurities. Spending time near water will bring you peace and answers. And make sure you put your family first. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you are hoping to move forward with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you have been neglecting your family, it is time to reconnect with them. If you have been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that is something for you to work on now. Doing so can bring your heart's desire. I did want to mention too that it's like they don't want the divine unions to talk at all. Like this panorama really, for divine unions, has brought us together. This is where we've had more children. We have healed together. We've cried together. We've been, you know what I mean? Like if you're actually doing the work, if you're actually spiritual and you're actually been opening and expanding your consciousness, this should be a great time for you and your partner. Now, if you don't have a partner just yet, you are healing yourself for this partner because they are doing the same thing. So I did want to read off this next card. New moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation, and relationships. It is harmonious, kind, and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, there is a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back into equilibrium. Feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is in the cards. Pay attention to your appearance. Don't be all about appearance. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever your dilemma is asking about. Compromise may be called for. It is time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and someone else. A new relationship could be beginning, and if that is the case, chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. And anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to taking things through, or talking things through, Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere. So, y'all, keep your heart chakra open. This is a perfect time for soulmates to meet each other. And this is a perfect time for soulmates that are already in partnerships to expand their love. Love each other in different ways. It'll feel like they're dating over and over again. That is obviously the cue for me to get out of here, because my son is like, Mommy. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining. Stay safe. Keep putting your protections up. It is working, and it is kicking the karmic's ass. Love you guys. Bye.